lot of work into the back. We're going to do something called wet noodle, where you drape your body over a Swiss ball, or you use a stool or a chair. So grab, before we start, a chair or a stool, or if you have a Swiss ball to drape yourself over. We're going to do that later on. We're going to build up towards that. So we're going to do a lot of work opening up into the front of the body and releasing into the back. So we're going to really, really open up back bends, okay? So let's start on our backs, on the floor, legs up the wall. So up to you how you pad yourself up. If you want to take a blanket on your mat, just to soften the landing of the spine into the floor so it's nice and comfortable. And you can also take a cushion and place that behind the legs. So one way to get the legs up the wall is to sit with one hip to the wall. So hip to the wall, shoulder to the wall, and then go down onto the other elbow, and then slide your bottom towards the wall, onto your back, and then extend the legs up. So this is why it's quite nice. Wiggle yourself a little bit closer if you need to. Is to take a cushion behind the legs. If your legs aren't completely pressing against the wall, press them into a cushion. Take a little external rotation of the legs. So heels in, toes out, just a little bit. And then taking your right hand to your belly and your left hand to your heart. You can take a cushion under your head. Make yourself really, really comfortable here. Settling yourself down, closing the eyes. And begin to feel the breath. Notice your breath. Cool, fresh, new breath in through the nose. Invite it in that space between the upper lip and the tip of the nostrils. Feel the breath flowing in, up through the nostrils, down the back of the throat, expanding the lungs, expanding the rib cage, feeling the belly rise and the chest rise on the breath in. And then allowing and softening into the body, really soften into the body, letting go, releasing on the breath out. Tune yourself in to your body, to the flow of your breath. In and out. Take some deeper breaths now. Lengthen your inhale. Take a little hold of the breath at the top just for a brief moment. And then exhale, release the breath out. Softening, letting go. Deep breath in. Noting how the body changes as you breathe in. Flowing in. Holding. And then releasing, letting go. Breathing in and out through the nose. Where do you feel your breath the strongest? Is it the point of entry, the tip of the nose, the nostrils, the upper lip, top of the nose, the back of the throat, the base of the throat, top of the lungs, the sides of the rib cage? Do you feel your heart expanding as you breathe in? Or do you feel it in your belly? Check all of these places. And notice where you feel this sensation the strongest. And then really, really shine your spotlight there, your attention there. Really notice it. Full awareness, full focus, full attention. So being patient with your attention, because sometimes thoughts arise and they're kind of sticky. They kind of attract your attention away from your focus on something else. So we get distracted. So if you notice yourself wandering off into thoughts, notice that distraction has occurred. And then come back to the breath. Notice the distraction. And take yourself a step away from it. So you're observing from the outside. You're saying to yourself, okay, I'm thinking, 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 thinking. And then come back to breathing, breathing, breathing. And if you feel that sensation in the body where you feel it the strongest, notice that sensation there. Feeling, feeling, feeling. So step by step, coming out of the thinking mind into the being mind, into the being state. To feeling, having awareness, noticing sensation. We're not being distracted by thoughts. So coming over and back to the breathing. Let's do a little 3, 4, 5 counted breathing. So we're going to breathe in for 3, hold for 4, and then breathe out for 5. So first, exhale, empty the lungs. Then breathing in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now allow the breath to settle back to its natural rhythm. No longer needing to force the breath in any way. Noticing your legs pushing against your cushion, relaxing heavily against your cushion. Feeling the back of the hips, the sacrum pushing into the floor. Feeling that sensation of support of your mat and the ground beneath you. Noticing the shoulders, the arms pressing heavily into the mat. Feeling your whole body relax. Relaxing into your face. Relaxing your attention there. Not over concentrating. Drawing the brows together, knitting the brows together, frowning. Release that frown. Smooth out the forehead, the cheeks, the skin around the eyes. Unclench the jaw. Allow the eyes to rest heavily for a few more moments in their sockets. So bringing ourselves into our thrive state, our rest and digest state, parasympathetic nervous system. So quietening the mind and just being present in this moment. So focusing on the breath really assists groundedness, assists us in bringing ourselves present in the moment, fully present, fully grounded. So slowly opening up your eyes, taking your cushion from behind your head, taking the cushion from behind the legs. I'm going to start by taking a figure of 4 with the legs, so keeping one leg extended for now. We're going to cross the other leg, so choosing, say, the left leg extended, the right leg is bent, so the foot is across the knee, and then bend the other leg. Bend the other leg, drawing the foot into the wall and having your arms alongside your body, palms facing down. So you'll feel a sensation, a stretching sensation into the gluteals on the right side. Focusing on your breath once more. Exhaling deeply. So when we stretch, we breathe in, but we exhale deeply. Really focusing on the exhale, releasing and letting go. So pushing the buttocks down, the hips down towards the mat. And driving the knee away from the chest for another 2 breaths. And then releasing, letting go. You can extend the right leg first and drawing the left foot across and above the other knee. Then bringing the foot to the wall to draw the left leg towards you, feeling the stretch in the left glute. So pressing the foot into the wall and then pushing the knee ever so slightly out and away from your chest. Deep breaths. Long exhales. You can flex the foot that's into the figure of 4. Two more breaths. And release. Taking your hands to the outer blades of your feet. So holding onto your feet from the outer edges, drawing down the knees towards the mat into happy baby. So noticing any sensations, any feeling of stretching into the groin, into the hip flexors. Take note with kindness what you feel there. Drawing your shoulders back into the mat. So not having the shoulders lifted, push the shoulder blades into the mat. Draw the feet down a little bit closer towards you, knees closer down to the floor. If you want to, you can rock from side to side gently, giving your spine a little massage on the floor. Inhaling and exhaling as you move. Don't hold the breath. Then back to center. And then taking yourself so that your bottom is still close to the wall. So check you haven't come away from the wall. We're going to do a little half butterfly. So bringing your one leg out to the side. It could be the left or the right, your choice. And then folding, half folding in the other leg. So it's like you're taking Baddha Konasana or a cross-legged seated position with the one leg. You can cactus the arms if that feels good for you today, or keep the arms alongside the body. I'm going to open up into the chest, a little opening up into the shoulders, but without flaring the ribs upwards. Keep the lower back, pushing the lower back into the floor. As you exhale, feel the lengthened, straightened leg maybe opening up a little bit more into its half straddle, half butterfly. Two more breaths. Slowly bringing the left leg up, the straightened leg, whichever side it was, and then switching sides. So extend the right leg if it was the left leg you extended. If you can, push your knee of the bent knee towards the wall. Keep the lower back pushing into the floor and tucking in the ribs if you have your arms in cactus. So not flaring the ribs and arching the back. Keep the back pressing into the floor. Deep breaths. With every exhale, seeing if your extended leg can open up a little bit more with each breath. So we're using gravity here to open the hips up. Inhale to center, and then full straddle. Interesting, when you straddle both legs, how the legs don't necessarily drop down as far. When you do just one, the leg opens a little bit wider, one at a time, but when you bring both together, they tend to not open quite as wide. So be mindful with the hips. Everyone's hip joints are slightly different. The way the femur joins into the hip, we're not all built the same way. So maybe the legs won't open so wide. Maybe they'll open wider. Go to where you can today. Choosing the position for your arms, maybe clasping opposite elbows overhead now. With every exhale, soften into the inner thighs. Breathe softness and relaxation into those muscles that you feel any tightness. Keep the lower back pushing into the floor. Let's hold it here for another 3 breaths. Give the feet a little flex towards you. So squeeze into the thighs, a little squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And release. Do that one more time. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And release. Slowly taking your hands to behind the knees, just behind the hamstrings, drawing the legs together. Taking your feet to the mat, not to the mat, to the wall. Take yourself a little bit away from the wall, so you're not quite as close as you were before. And we're going to come into a little bridge supported with the wall. So take your arms alongside the body, palms facing down. Take a deep breath in and start to peel the spine off the mat. Lifting the hips up. So lifting the hips up as high as you can. Draw navel to spine. Keeping the arms pressed down into the mat, palms down. Big breath in. Exhale, slowly peel the spine back down to the floor. Now if you want to, you can take another one of those. Taking a nice deep breath in. Peeling the spine off the mat. So peel the spine off. lifting the hips up. See if you can lift them a little higher this time. And then inhale, reaching the arms overhead. Draw navel to spine. Maybe chin to chest. Take some deep, slow breaths here. Be mindful of keeping the legs parallel with each other. Squeeze into the glutes. Lift the hips a little higher. And then exhale, slowly peel the spine back down. Vertebra by vertebra. And then exhale. On the rest of the exhale, floating the arms back down to the floor. Okay, so slowly rolling over onto your side so that we can come away from the wall. Going to do a little Malasana. So if you feel you need to roll up the edge of your mat for this, you can take a little bit of the mat, roll it up. Just working into the legs a little bit. Placing your heels onto that slightly elevated, rolled up mat. Taking your hands to your heart center. Take a nice deep breath in. Then exhale, sinking down with the hips towards the floor. Elbows pushing out to the inner knees. Inhale to come up. Big breath in. Exhale, sinking down. 2 more of those. Breath in. Straighten the legs as you breathe in. And exhale, sinking down. Push the knees back with the elbows. Inhale, lift. And exhale down. Taking the hands, clasping around by the ankles. Straightening the legs up on a breath in. Exhale, sinking the hips down. Inhale, straightening the legs. Exhale, sinking down. Now planting the hands into the mat in front of you, onto the floor. Going to push into the hands, lifting the hips up a little higher. Drive the hands into the floor. Exhale as you release the hips down. Breath in to extend and straighten the legs. Hands flat to the floor. Exhale down. 1 more. Breath in. Reach the hips up. Exhale down. Taking hold of opposite ankles. And then reaching the right arm to the sky. Reach back. Taking a twist. Opening up. Over to the other side. So right hand, left ankle. Reach back with the left arm. Look to your hand. Exhale down. Push the knees out. And now taking yourself back to the wall. Taking a little Malasana against the wall. So sliding the back down the wall. Enjoy the support of the wall to your back. Elbows pushing out to the knees. 5 more deep breaths here. Two more. And slowly releasing down. Hands to the floor, extend the legs. Roll out your mat. Working a little back into the back. Now, just a little bit into Camel. So first of all, we're going to face the wall. Take the thighs, hips to the wall. So really pushing the legs into the wall. Tuck the toes. So I have a wall back there. I've decided to do it against this one because I have a longer wall here. Hopefully you don't have shutters and things like that. Just a plain wall would be best. So first we're taking our hands, heels of the hands into the lower back. Take a big breath in. Drive the hips into the wall and squeeze the shoulder blades together, elbows towards each other. Look up to the sky. 5 deep breaths. Feel the front body opening up with every breath in and every releasing breath out. Keep the connection of the legs with the wall. One more breath in. And then inhale to come up. Taking your hands one at a time onto the heels. And then sending the thighs back to the wall. Lift the chest, lift the heart, lift the gaze. 5 deep breaths. Inhale, slowly, slowly coming up. Coming away from the wall. Coming into rabbit pose. So keeping the toes tucked under. Bending forward so that the forehead, the crown of the head. So it's like you're trying to bring your forehead to your knees. Might not actually reach there, but that's the direction. So crown of the head down to the floor. Take the hands underneath the heels. Take a deep breath in as you straighten up into the arms and push the hands so the hands are being pulled onto the heels, and there's a lovely stretch across your shoulders. Lift the hips up. Draw navel to spine. Scoop the belly up. Chin to chest. Three more breaths. Big breath in. Exhale, release. Release the toes, release the bind, or the hold around the feet. Coming into child's pose, Malasana. Roll the shoulders forwards. Deep breaths here. Then inhaling to come up. Next is a little hangman onto the wall. So taking your blanket or your cushion, keeping that on the floor. Come to lie down with your top of your head touching the wall. So wiggle yourself forwards until the crown of the head reaches them against the wall. And then bringing your hands up the wall. Move it incrementally, so nice and slowly with this. Start to walk the hands up the wall. Now depending, I've got a window ledge, so I'm holding onto that. If I didn't have a window ledge, my hands would be pushing against the wall. Relax into the legs. You can look between the hands for a couple of breaths. Lift the chest a little higher. And then exhale, allow the head to hang heavy between the arms. Try to relax into the buttocks, into the legs. Breathe deeply. Two more breaths. Big breath in. Slowly, slowly walking the hands down the wall. Coming to a little sphinx. So elbows down, forearms down, hands, fingers spread wide. Deep breath in. And then exhale, take a little twist. Look over your right shoulder to your right foot. Inhale to center, and then exhale over to the other side. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, gentle twist, nothing too dramatic. Just working into some spinal movements. Take one more each side. Then back to center. Now taking your stool and your strap next. So make a little loop on your strap for your foot. We're going to work a little bit into stretching into the legs and back at the same time. So grabbing your stool. If you do not have a stool, you can use the edge of your sofa, or perhaps, probably your sofa if you don't have a stool or a chair. So strap onto one foot. Hold the strap with the same hand as that foot. So you're on your knees. Reach forwards to your stool. I'm going to be lifting the leg up. Get hold of that strap with both hands. Reaching the arms onto the stool or onto the sofa. So both hands onto the sofa, onto the stool, onto your support. So pulling onto the strap, lifting the knee up, lifting the leg up a little higher. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly coming down. Making sure I've got a slightly creaky chair here, maybe taking that against the wall so it doesn't tip over. Take the hands with the strap, first reaching forwards to take hold of your stool. Bring the strap forwards. Both hands onto your supporting stool or your sofa. Pull on your strap, lifting the leg up. No tension in the neck, in the head, in the shoulders. Try to relax into the head, into the neck. 5 more breaths. Putting that strap a little bit more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly, 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 slowly. Bringing the knee down. Quad stretch. Grabbing hold of your blocks. We did this one last week. This time, instead of having the block lengthways, have the short ends of the block against the wall. Going to take a little quad stretch. Working into the legs a little bit, as well as the back this time. So taking your knee onto the block, and so that your shin is against the wall. Pressing into the hands, so that you can step the other leg forwards into a low lunge. So hands down, either side of the front foot. Take a nice breath in. Reach. So if you're the opposite arm to the leg that's up against the wall. So if you have your left leg up, reach back with the right arm to that foot that's up against the wall. Looking over your right shoulder. Taking a lovely pretzel twist here. And then coming down, take your hands onto the inside of the foot and turn the foot out 45 degrees. Come down onto your elbows, relax the head, and then sink the hips down towards the floor. So working into the hips and the front of the thigh. With every exhale, releasing the hips down a little bit more. Then inhale to come up. Taking yourself so that you're pressing into the front foot. And beginning to take your buttocks, your heels and your buttocks to join. The foot against the wall. So bringing your back against the wall, elbows against the wall, whatever you can get back. So it's like a Virasana, or Supta Virasana, but against the wall. If you need to pad up the top of the foot, then put a little bit of a blanket or a towel there. So if you feel that it's uncomfortable to the top of the foot, then you can take a little bit of softening to the top of the foot. So grabbing hold of the foot if you can, take the shoulders back, straightening up a little bit to the front leg. Deep breaths. Two more. Slowly releasing down. Take it over to the other side. So remembering, keeping that block long ways. So the short side of the block is against the wall. Deep breaths. In this one, it's quite a big stretch in front of the leg. So cushioning the top of the foot if you feel it feels a little bit uncomfortable. Hands down. Then step. So make sure that knee is secure on the block against the wall and the shin is against the wall. Stepping the left foot forwards. Give a little bit of assistance if it needs it. So you're in a deep lunge position to start. Sinking the hips down and forwards. Hips down and forwards with every exhale. Right hand stays down. Left hand, reach it back. Take hold of the foot. Roll the shoulder back. Look over your left shoulder. Taking a lovely pretzel twist. Deep breaths. Focusing on the exhale. Releasing and letting go. Inhale to center. And then checking that knee is secure on your block. Bring yourself up nice and slowly. Taking hold of the foot. Maybe straightening out the front leg. Shoulders back. Elbows back to wall. 5 deep breaths. So it's an intense stretch down the front of the bent leg. And then slowly, slowly releasing down and carefully coming off your block. Slowly, slowly, nothing to rush through. Slow, patient movements. So patience is definitely required in these deep stretches. Patience with yourself. All built very differently. So deep lunge now with hands on the blocks. So taking your blocks, take a step forwards, right foot forwards, left leg back. Deep lunge. Press the hands into the blocks. Shoulders back. So setting up here first, then reaching the arms up to the sky. Look up to your hands. Look up to your thumbs, peaceful yogi gun. Begin to open up the front of the body. Feel as though you're opening up the chest, lifting the chest to the sky. Sinking into the hips, reaching the chest, opening the chest, extending and then lengthening the arms back. 2 more breaths. So same sensation like you had in Camel. Exhale down. A little half split. Just to release into the front leg. Bring the knees together. The leg forwards. Hips forwards. Deep lunge. Press into the blocks to start. Back upright. Sliding the back foot away as far as it can go. Pad up the lower knee if you feel your kneecap isn't enjoying that pressure onto the knee. And then when you're ready, hands off the block. Push into the front foot, into the big toe, the supporting foot there. Peaceful yogi gun. Reaching, opening, lengthening, extending. 5 breaths. Big breath in, releasing the hands back down. A little half split. Can fall down over the leg. Inhale, coming up. Knees back together. So, using your blocks again. I'm going to do a deep lunge with our elbows this time on the blocks. It's a bit like a lizard. Elbows on the blocks. So pop your blocks next to each other. Hands together, release into the head, into the neck, into the face. No tension. Maybe closing the eyes. Turn the right foot out 45 degrees. Come onto the outer blade of that foot. So allowing gravity, pushing that knee out to the side. And now removing the blocks, if that feels good. Blocks away, elbows down to the floor. Release the head, relax the tension out of the neck. If you feel comfortable here, you can walk the arms forwards, hands forwards, drop the head between the arms. Two more breaths. Inhale to come up, slide the hands back. And switching sides, so starting with the elbows on the blocks, so bring your blocks back. Stepping the left foot forwards, keeping that right leg sliding back and away. Turn the foot out 45 degrees. Elbows down. Forearms down. Relax the head. Maybe give it a little nod, yes. Shake no. Maybe some circles with the nose. Now coming onto the outer blade of the foot, the front foot. Pushing the knee out to the side. Dropping the hips down towards the mat. And if it feels available to you today, then the elbows come down, so remove your blocks away. Drop the head down, let it hang heavy. Deep breaths, exhaling, releasing. If you want to, reach the arms forwards, hands forwards. Maybe the head rests to the floor. 5 breaths here. Big breath in. Elbows back down. Bring that knee back. Draw the legs together. Take a little child's pose. Forehead resting into the mat. Shoulders roll forwards. Palms and hands facing up. Take a few deep breaths here. Inhaling to come up. And do a little puppy pose with our hands on the blocks now. So checking your knees hip distance apart. Walk your hands forwards with your blocks. Your hips are over your knees. And start to draw your shoulders down. It's like trying to bring the armpits down to the mat. Let the face relax. Draw the head down. Resting the head. A little lift of the navel to spine. Gently draw the navel to spine. With every exhale, softening into the shoulders and into the back. 2 more breaths. Inhaling to lift the head. Bring the hands off the blocks. Take the blocks aside. And now walk your hands forwards. Very slowly and carefully, bringing the forearms down to the mat. Maybe lifting the head to look between the hands. If that does not feel comfortable for the neck, then go with the head, with the forehead pressing into the mat. If you do not like the sensation of lifting the head and taking the chin onto the mat. Taking a breath in. If you want to, you can take it a little bit more into the chest, down. Chest down, arms down. Keeping the hips lifted, but the hips will be slightly forwards now of the knees. 3 more breaths. Inhale to lift. Walk the hands slowly towards you. And coming down now onto your backs. Having a block, we're going to take a little supported thoracic spine. It's a little back bend into the thoracic spine. So this one looks a little different. So onto your backs. You need to take your block to space between the shoulder blades here. So checking a little bit of proprioception needed here. You can have the legs bent and the block between the shoulder blades. And slowly, so keep the elbows down alongside the body to start, bend the knees. And then, if you're ready, reach the arms back. So feel the openness in the chest, openness in the upper back. Only reach the arms back if it feels good. I'm a little close to the wall. So I'm going to slide myself just a little fraction further forwards. So I've got a little bit more space. So checking your space works for you. So block between the shoulder blades. Bend the knees. Head down. Reaching the arms back. 3 more deep breaths. Slowly bring the elbows into the mat so you can lift yourself off your block into some bridges. So that was a kind of like a start point into a bridge. Rolling back down now. Keep your block to hand and also your strap. I'm going to do a few bridges. Draw your feet in close to your buttocks, fairly close. And then taking your hands down, elbows down. Take a breath in as you start to peel the spine off the mat. Now check on your legs, keeping the legs parallel with each other. Then wiggle the shoulder blades together, lift the hips up, clasping the hands together underneath your back. Deep breaths in and out, deep belly breaths. Exhale, slowly peel the spine back down. And then we're going to take a little supported bridge with the block. So I'm going to take the block, so peel the spine back up. Hands on the heels, and then taking hold of your block. Take your block, long end of the block, so the short side is into the sacrum, just above the coccyx. Inhale, reach the arms back. Clasp opposite elbows. Deep breaths. So without looking at your legs, because you can't really see them, feel your legs parallel with each other. The feet facing the same way, so there's no turn out of the feet. The legs are completely parallel. 2 more breaths. Feel the belly rise and fall. Deep breaths in. Exhale, release. 1 more. Bringing the elbows down along by your sides so you can lift the hips up. Lifting the hips up and keeping them up, and then taking the heels of the hands and walking the elbows a little closer together, driving the hips up. Walk the feet a little closer if you can, drive those hips up a little higher, supported bridge. Keeping the legs parallel, so squeeze the thighs towards each other. 3 more breaths. Big breath in. Exhale, slowly, slowly peel the spine back down. Hug knees to chest. And then take a little rock and roll, so keeping your hands on your knees, rolling up and down, giving your back a little massage, really C-shaping the back. So draw your chin towards your chest. Little self-massage. 1 more. Straightening up the legs, just a little brief Dandasana reset. Squeeze the thighs, roll the shoulders back and down, chin to chest. Push the backs of the legs into the floor, flex the feet towards you. Deep breaths here. Exhaling deeply. And now for a little wet noodle over our chair or over your stool or your Swiss ball. So taking your stool, pad it up with a cushion. So make sure, don't worry about the creaky noise of my chair, my piano stool. So making sure you have enough padding on your stool for your back. So when you drape yourself over the stool, you don't have any hard wooden bits, etc., pushing into your back. So this one requires a slow approach. So sitting on the edge of your chair, slowly, slowly coming down. Extend the legs long and then easing your head back and then reaching the arms back. Hold it here for as many breaths as you can, at least 10. Deep breath. If you're on your Swiss ball, really enjoy the shape of the ball supporting your back. Feel the openness in the front of the body. Another 5 breaths. Releasing and exhaling, letting go on the exhale. Another 3. Really letting the arms, the head, everything hang heavy. Let gravity work with you here. And to come out, be very, very mindful. First bringing the arms back to the legs. Then big breath in as you lift the head slowly, slowly, slowly. Walk the feet in. Hands onto your stool, pushing yourself up. So coming out carefully from your wet noodle. And now, take a little bridge again, or you can take your wheel, if you have a wheel, and drape yourself over your wheel. So coming into bridge, or use your wheel. So opening up the chest, extending the legs, rolling onto your wheel. Head down, clasp opposite elbows. Or being in your bridge. So take your bridge, you don't have a wheel. 3 more breaths. Slowly, slowly coming out. Lifting the head carefully and mindfully. Back to Dandasana. Straight back. Draw navel to spine. A little lift in your pelvic floor, chin to chest. And last little bit. A full wheel. or your last bridge. So coming into wheel, heels close to the bottom, hands alongside the head, lifting up, driving into the feet. Come onto the top of your head first. So making sure the legs don't splay out to the sides too much. Coming up, pushing into the hands. Five breaths. Lift the heels if you want. Walk the feet a little bit closer. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly down. Hug your knees to your chest. A little rock and roll side to side. Or do a few rock and rolls. Fully up and down. You can even take your legs overhead into a little plow, rolling forwards and then into plow. Just enjoy massaging the spine. And coming up back to seated. So into Supta Virasana. Taking a block or a cushion behind your back to land onto, and then a cushion to start with for the legs. Coming over onto your knees. Being very careful with the knees. So the feet wider than the hips, so you're not landing on the feet, so the calves will be outside of behind the knees. So remove the fleshiness of the calves aside. So popping yourself first onto your cushion if you need it. If your bottom drops down easily to the floor, then you don't need a cushion here. So you have your bolster or another couple of cushions behind you to land onto. Slowly, slowly coming down onto the elbows. And then wiggling the elbows aside. And then the head and the shoulders land onto the cushion behind you. You can slide the lower cushion that's between the legs away to allow the bottom to drop down towards the floor, clasping opposite elbows, arms reach overhead. So if you don't need the cushion underneath the bottom, then remove that. Hold this here for as many breaths as you feel comfortable. Openness in the front of the body, expansiveness there. Breathe the hips down, the legs soften, the chest, the belly. Everything softening and melting down. 5 more breaths. Long exhales. Closing the eyes if it helps you to focus on the sensations you feel in the body. Last deep breath in and out. Then bringing your hands by your calves. Push your elbows just behind the feet so you can lift the head up. And then take the elbows a little bit further back. So now that you're on your elbows, and then take one hand to where the elbow was, and then pushing up safely out of your Supta Virasana. Extend the legs forwards. Take your cushion or your bolster onto your legs. We're going to fold ourselves the other way. Hands in prayer. Reach up overhead. Flex your feet, squeeze your thighs. Big breath in. Then reaching forwards, forwards, forwards. Reach towards the feet. If you want to have the cushion under the belly, if you want that support, that landing for the belly, soft landing, you can even take another cushion for the head. Take a strap around the feet if you can't reach the feet. Hold the outer blades of the feet. Relax into the shoulders, into the face, into the neck. Two more breaths. And then taking the cushion from the belly away, keep the one on the legs. Take your elbows onto that cushion and take your hands in prayer. Walk the elbows forwards and then reaching the hands down the back, so pointing behind you with your prayer hands. If you're folding forwards quite easily, then slide the cushion a little bit further forwards. Just create a little space for the head to drop down towards the shins, towards the knees. Push the backs of the legs into the floor. Scoop the belly up and feel as though the belly's going to land on the thighs. Keep reaching back. Five more breaths here. Then inhale to come up. Taking a little Upavista Konasana now. So straddling the legs nice and wide. Have the cushions again, the bolsters, the landing for your belly. Reaching the arms forwards. So you're hinging from the hip creases, reach forwards. And then elbows down. Drop the head. Soft landing for the head on your cushion. Relax into the shoulders. But keep the legs active. Keep pushing the backs of the legs into the floor. Keep flexing the feet towards you. And similarly with our forward fold, you can work towards taking your prayer hands. Elbows down to the floor or on your cushion. So wiggling the elbows forwards, reaching the hands in prayer behind you. Reaching down your back. So propping up the elbows onto your cushions or your blocks as high as you need. Be kind. 5 more breaths. Breathe deeply into any space that feels tight. And then reach into your feet for the last couple of breaths. Inhaling slowly, slowly coming up. Push into the hands at center. Leaning back, bring the legs together. Feet together. And take yourselves onto a block. Sitting on a block. feet together. Butterfly the legs. Baddha Konasana. Grabbing hold of the feet. Open the feet like you would a book. Open them up. Soles of the feet open. Knees dropping down to the floor. Start to lean forwards with your chest, with your heart. Lean into it. Close the eyes and then rest the head. If it feels comfortable, you can bring the elbows down, palms facing up. Relax the head. Relax the shoulders, the neck, the arms. With every exhale, feel the knees floating down, releasing down to the floor. And like we did with the other two postures previously, if the elbows are down, you can reach with prayer hands down the back. 3 more breaths. Slowly, slowly coming up. And taking yourself down to your mat now for a little relaxation. So your choice to take your legs into Supta Baddha Konasana. Maybe that's how you feel you want to be today. Your options are many for Shavasana. So Supta Baddha Konasana, you're lying on the back. You can take some blocks and place them underneath the knees so that they're at an angle like little supports to the knees, so there's not too much tension in the hips. A cushion under the head, a blanket over the chest, or pop your socks on as well if you feel like your feet might get cold, or your jumpers, or a blanket over the body. If this does not feel right for you today, then extend the legs. Or if you feel you want to take a little lymph drainage into the legs, then take the legs up the wall. Take a little support with some cushion behind the knees so that your legs, you don't overextend the backs of the knees, so support the backs of the legs. So you can lengthen the legs up the wall, have them extended, or take them into Supta Baddha Konasana. So find your comfortable position. And bringing yourself into a resting state. Closing the eyes and focusing for a few moments on your breath. Feeling the flow in and out. Noticing any noises outside of the room. Can you detect any sounds outside of the room? In your peripheral sounds around you. Just not noticing those things. And then noticing the room that you are in. Noticing any sounds you can hear there. Noticing, being aware. And then noticing the sound of your breath. Gently flowing in and out. Feeling the chest expand and rise, and belly rise as you breathe in. And soften as you breathe out. Noticing your skin, the fabric of your clothes on your skin. Noticing your skin, your body, where it touches the floor or the wall. Noticing and feeling those sensations. Your shoulders pressing into the floor, the backs of the arms, the elbows, the hands. Feeling the skin and the palms of your hands. Noticing any sensation there. Any warmth, any coolness, any tingling, any pulsing. Feeling the backs of the legs either against the cushion, the knees into the blocks, the feet pressing into the mat, pressing towards each other, pushing into the wall. Noticing every point of contact you have with the floor and the wall. Scanning through your body. Noticing any tension. And then sending your breath there. Send your breath there to soften, soothe, and dissolve that tension away. So using time to be still and quiet. The benefits of meditation. To lower the blood pressure, reduce your stress levels, lessen your anxiety, improve your mental health, bring you to better focus and concentration in your everyday life, and help bolster your immune system function, make it more efficient. It'll actually lift your energy levels, and then very importantly, to reduce your tendency to dwell on negative thoughts. So often the world we live in is full of lots of little stresses, micro stress doses. So giving yourself this time to remove yourself away from those stresses, those that you live in from day to day, and help bring yourself into awareness of what's happening in your body. Feeling the stress dissolve, the tension dissolve. Helping to shift your perspective. So whatever stress you may feel in your life, letting that temporarily dissolve and let that be a passing thought. So helping the blood pressure, the immune system. Breathing deeply, bringing yourself into a quiet mind state. Also helps with your sleep. If you have problems with sleep, then taking some time to do some mindful breathing before you go to bed. It's also a wonderful way to relax. Being patient with yourself, with your relaxation or meditation, being patient. Not becoming restless. But when restlessness arises or thoughts arise, allowing yourself to turn this into a challenge, an opportunity to grow and learn, turning it into something new, turning a negative into a positive. So when you notice tension, agitation, annoyance, impatience arising, take a look at that and flip it over. Turn it into a chance to strengthen your patience with yourself. It's learning a new skill. It takes time and some loving kindness towards yourself. So giving yourself thanks and gratitude for giving yourself this time, this gift. Growing your patience with yourself, even when challenges arise. So turning any negative situation into a challenge and an opportunity. Bringing some peace and joy and clarity to those moments. So allowing yourself now to feel completely still and calm for a few quiet moments. Relaxing the face and neck and shoulders, smoothing out the muscles of the face, the jaw, the eyes, the brow, the forehead, the temples, the lips. Fully relaxing there. Maybe a little smile on the corner of the lips. Relaxing into the scalp, the throat, the back of the neck. Working down your shoulders, relaxing your shoulders. Relaxing into the tops of the arms, the elbows, the forearms, the hands, the fingers. The arms completely relaxed into the floor. Relaxing into your shoulders again. Down to the chest, the upper back, the lower back. All the points of contact with the floor, melting and softening and pressing into the floor, fully supported. Relaxing into the abdomen. Circling your relaxation round into the hips and the buttocks, into the pelvis, into the groin. Take your attention to your legs, your thighs, your hamstrings, your knees. Look at the knees and the backs of the knees, to the shins, the calves, the ankles. Tops of the feet, soles of the feet, down to the toes. So as you relax all of these parts, one after the other, relax them one by one. So it's almost like you picture them in your mind's eye, dissolving, melting, softening, releasing, letting go. Just take a little scan head to toe and see that there's no tension remaining. And then turning your attention back to the flow of the breath. I'd like you to take 3 deep breaths in and out. Noticing the sensations in the body, the change of the ribs and the belly. The flow of the air, cool in through the nose and warm air coming out on the exhale. Now I'd like you to focus your attention on the sound you can hear, and focus your attention completely on the sound you can hear. Focus until you cannot hear the sound anymore. As soon as the sound has disappeared for you, focus back on your breath. Listen carefully, and then focus back on your breath. Then listen to the sound. And then focus back on your breath. The wave of the breath in and out. And lastly, back to the sound you can hear. Really listen with full attention on the sound you can hear. And focus your attention back on your breath. Notice the gentle rise and fall of the breath. The wave, ride the wave in and out. A few more breaths. And now bringing your awareness back to your space around you. Your awareness back to your body. Making some movements, perhaps with the fingers and toes. Give them a little wiggle. Some movements, and if you had your legs up against the wall, maybe roll over safely onto your one side. Coming out of Supta Baddha Konasana, taking the blocks away, and also rolling over onto your right side. Just remain there for a few breaths. Curling up into a little ball. Saying thank you, body. Thank you for practicing and stretching with me today. And carefully coming up to a seated position. Without moving too quickly, come to a seated position. A seated position where the spine feels long and tall, but the shoulders and arms soften away from the ears. Taking your hands to rest in your lap, one on top of the other. So feeling the spine straight and long and tall, the crown of the head reaching to the sky. So feeling the body stretched, relaxed. Keeping the mind still and quiet, yet attentive. And now setting your intention for today. Finding your intention. What is your intention? Repeat your intention to yourself 3 times. I am in this present moment, in the present tense. See it clearly, brightly, and definitely. Drawing your hands together to your heart center. Remembering to be patient with yourself, patient with your practice, and then patient with others too. So, not being quick to judge. Taking a moment to first think before speaking. So, generating gratitude, love, and kindness to yourself, to others, and the environment around you. Thank you for practicing with me and giving yourself this gift of time. The light in me honors the light in you that shines brightly. Namaste, friends. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you. Thank you for your time this morning, for yourself. Hopefully you feel stretched and long and tall. Take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday, and I'll see you sometime in the week ahead. Namaste. Thank you.